West Texas was developed by strong families whose legacies form the culture we enjoy as West Texans. Jess James Neal was born March 7, 1883 in Whitney, Texas.
He was the second child born to his mother and father. He had a 5th grade education, and that was the highest of the family. His childhood was working for his father on a stock farm.
Jess's parents, William Rufus and Amanda Susan Roberts Neal, had a stock farm in Hill County, Texas. Jess's sister Martha died as an infant, and his younger brother Alfred passed as a young adult. The remaining siblings, Isaac, Addison, and Roxy, grew up learning about animals and the land.
The Neals were all about family and land.
When Jess's father died in 1915, the siblings joined together with a plan to grow their family's ranching business.
Daddy and his 2 brothers and sisters formed a partnership and went west to Glasscock County, where they bought a large ranch. The thought was, we need to go west. We need to go west. So they kept going west until they liked the area in Glasscock. Glasscock has water, and Glasscock is very pretty, and they knew they could raise sheep and cattle in that area.
The brothers worked hard, but somehow managed to look dashing while they were at it.
They always wore suits. They didn't go around in overalls or whatever other clothes were available. You see him on a windmill, and he's got a coat and tie and suit on.
A handsome Jess Neal caught the eye of a young Hazel Francis.
My mother had seen him, so she decided that she wanted to meet him, and he liked to do the schottis. And he would go to the top of the San Angeles Hotel on Saturday night and dance. So she set about to learn how to schottis. So she went up to the rooftop. It was on the rooftop of the hotel. So he asked her to dance, and they danced, and that was the beginning of their relationship.
You could say Jess combined his 2 loves during the honeymoon.
They got married in 1935, and their wedding trip was actually a cattle buying trip for Daddy.
Soon after, the Neals began their family. First, Jessie Frances Neal, and then her 2 siblings, Belva Sue and Robert Luther, were born in San Angelo.
He was very proud of his children, very proud.
By this time, Jess had started his own ranch, independent of his siblings, in Upton County, about 130 miles northwest of San Angelo. The children would spend weekends and summers at the ranch.
I recall as a little girl, sometime early in the morning before daylight, this big old truck would drive in the driveway, and we'd all go outside, and this big old truck was full of little white sheep, wiggling around, and it was just a really big event for me. For me, the land has been my life because I grew up as my father was a rancher. I think of my dad every day.
Jess passed away young, just 5 years after starting the Upton Ranch. But his love of land and family lives on.
What an amazing person he must have been.
Very hardworking.
Yeah, hardworking.
Businessman that really impacted a lot of different people in many different ways.
Jess is remembered for his generosity. When his younger brother Ike died of tuberculosis in 1920, Jess, along with his siblings, began providing for Ike's widow and children.
And through the years, we hear stories of how he really took care of his brother's children and his, all his nieces and nephews and things, and how much, family must have been so important to him.
They wanted to give all of their children an opportunity for land and ranching for a livelihood. It wasn't that they were going to take care of them until they were 21. They were going to set them up with livestock and land so that they could make a living and live from the land.
And that's exactly what happened. The Upton County Ranch was left to Jess's children. In the 1950s, oil was found on the ranch.
When we were in elementary school, when they had the map of Texas, and they had the oil, and they had the ranches, and they had sheep, and they had, all those different natural resources. I mean, our family has had hands in each piece.
For this family, part of keeping Jess Neal's memory alive is living out the values he taught. Love your family, respect the land, and give back to your community. Thank you to the Jess Neal family for their contributions to our West Texas heritage.